Hello everyone, we are back elsewhere. This time we are following Aurelia on top her horse. It has to be a Redguard breed from Rihad to keep up with the heat of the desert elsewhere. Has brought you successfully here to the provincial village of Lionhall. It's obviously named in Tamrielic. Wasn't the Khajiit named that? The name Lionhall suggests a hall and a lion.
Hmm.
What would bring Aurelia to a place like this? Some illness,
For her,
some evil in need of a cure, probably.
for her, it's more just she was told to go here because people either need assistance or just to provide healing whenever anyone needed it. For the most part, Aurelia tends to go to places that need it desperately, or to where somebody couldn't go.
This is a village in the middle of the desert, so there's no easy way to come here. The long journey through the deadly, unforgiving heat.
Yes.
Your horse certainly needs rest.
I can only imagine that Aurelia is just kind of sitting there drinking from the water skin and then looking down at the horse and wondering, I wonder how long it's going to last.
You can roll
And
an
she
animal
also...
handling or a medicine to determine the situation of your horse if you want.
Awesome. Alright, this is the one thing I'm good at. The famous last words.
Yeah. Hey, Grammy.
Eight.
Good enough.
Yes.
It's bred to last,
Yes.
so it should be good.
I would also assume she is not very used to the desert, Hailing from Skyrim, she's more like, so hot here.
Yeah, it is hot, and the sun makes it even worse. It pours and it gets everywhere.
Not the sand.
There is a peculiar cat.
That looks like it'd be worth an insight check to figure out if he's like, is he watching me with ill intent or with, just curiosity?
Yeah, make an insight check.
Let me just make sure that, yes, my insight is pretty good at this. Famous last words, 8. Bro. Love that.
Again, 8? How much?
Yep.
What are your modifiers for that?
It's a +6. It's like, so it's 2 + 6, so that's 8.
Oh.
She's not.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to assume heat of the desert.
You know, cats are famous for their curiosity. This cat doesn't seem to differ from all the other cats you in life.
Oh. I'm just gonna continue forward and just move into the town. See see what's going on around town.
It's early in the evening. The village, town, pretty busy. People bringing in goods, sending. Seems to be a trade hub.
Ah.
Do I have any camels? Lion. You also notice what you know to be a sensed tiger. A big feline with nasty claws and teeth. No camels though.
Awesome. Huh.
Yeah.
I wonder how they get the desert goods out here.
By horses mainly. Caravan. You notice the Ajit trader hat with jewelry hanging from his neck, wrists, and earrings. So many earrings that they almost drag his down. People still normal. They give you friendly look. You can tell by the look, the condition of the clothes, the look on their faces, that they are hardworking people here. Either harvest wild fruit from cacti in the desert or hunt animals that desert. There are also some that uh, train beasts for combat or for uh, work, beasts of burdens.
Hmm.
You also have information about a sudden burst of illness that goes around this town. Many workers time and they haven't had a cure. It has caused suffering. They either have to live here, go to the bigger city, big fortune there, while still being sick. Or they become such burdens to their families that they end up broke, uh, just the skin on their back, still living here, tending to a bunch of chickens, harvesting. There is also the trade Puma, smuggling of other goods. This might.
Hmm. If they were connected, they'd have to. I'd need like I've heard about this illness, right? Like I've heard about it spreading around.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm gonna go like is there anyone that's having like exhibiting signs of sickness like at all?
There's a bunch of people that exhibit signs of sick.
Hmm. Might actually go over and like at a safe distance kind of like investigate and like try to see if there's any like common symptoms between the two and try to link it with any known um side effects of skooma like at all. you know.
The temple for sick. You can see there are some animals there as well. Then did the cleric. You can have a look at them. Secured place you can walk.
Oh yeah, I figured, but I'm trying to I'm keeping a safe distance as to not catch the illness.
Make a perception or a medicine with.
Ooh, with disadvantage.
Yeah, because you are from a.
Well, no, I'm trying to as a safe distance as to not get the plague.
Yeah. Still.
Oh.
Disadvantage.
All right. So that means I rolled a 20. So, all right, I'm trying to figure out where. So it's. I probably lowest roll was probably a. Trying to remember. Oh.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, the lowest roll was a 10, so 16.
The symptoms you notice seem to be linked with not the consumption of the consumption of moon sugar. It's not the drug that causes this illness. It's the actual ingredient. Hello, Joel Scotty. What's up?
So it's the ingredient that's causing the problem.
Yeah. They use it
for
food, they use it to cook with it, they use it rituals, they use it in all sorts of. The Khajiit have a very, very sweet.
So these guys are all Khajiit, or are they
Most of them are Khajiit. There are a few red guards here and there, and one or two of the other races. Majority.
Is it it's more since I'm kind of looking at it now, I'm really starting to piece it together. She's like, so it's more like a cultural thing. I don't know if we're gonna be able to convince them, hey, this is a bad thing. Well, unless I get a piece.
Make a history check or a religion check. Yeah, the difficulty would be the same.
That's a 21 on that religion check.
The Khajiit has been consuming sugar since forever. So, for them to be exhibiting such illness doesn't make sense. It has to be something else.
Is there anyone who I can talk to about the moon sugar?
There are traders here, passing merchants. There are people who also produce it here.
I might want to start with the producers because there could be some contaminate that's getting in there. So I might start with the producers, the guys who are making it, before the guys who are selling it. Because there are two possibilities. Either one, the guys who are producing it have some sort of contaminant in there, which isn't entirely impossible. or the traders are bringing in some outside moon sugar, and during transportation, it's getting something's happening to it. So that's just a theory.
Your horse doesn't want to continue any longer. Think?
I pet the horse and I go, "Don't worry, you go ahead and just stay here and rest."
Fine.
She looks up, looks at the red. She goes, "I knew that red guard was trying to sell him off for a reason. The horse could fly the whole time." I knew giving it scuba was a bad idea.
You go to a producer. The ones they direct you to the temple. The woman has connected. She has been using a variety of ingredients they use in the temple purposes, and she's also been producing herbs and other stuff for the town and for the woman.
So as I walk over and I go, "Hey, so it's kind of weird because I've noticed that many of those people, like some of the Khajiit there, are starting to come down with moon sugar poisoning, but that makes no sense. You guys use it all the time. Is there something wrong with your supply? Is something getting in there?"
Is this one implying that my sugar is poisonous?
No, I'm trying to figure out the reason because Khajiit are getting sick, and that doesn't really add up. Could there be some sort of contamination from other herbs that we don't know about? Or I'm not saying you're making poison. I'm saying that inadvertently something's happening that in the production process or in the procurement process that might be causing the problem.
Well, it can't be this one's skooma, as this one has been producing the same recipe for over a generation. If it was in any way harmful, there would be no one left in the city by now. So I suggest you go bother someone else. This one has to work. These people need treatment. I intend to fight for them. I will hear no more. And she's being kind of rude. She's kind of sending you away.
I go, could there be another thing? When did this all start?
You don't have that information. You could ask around and get it.
Oh.
Make a straight charisma. Inquire for information. Either a basic charisma, difficult perception.
I'd do 19.
Hmm?
It was on a charisma check.
So asking around, you ran into one of the red guards. And he is pretty happy to see someone who isn't a Khajiit for once. He's with another. It's been nice to see you. And he starts giving you information like how long he's been here, how long he knows that this has been going on. This has been going on for less than a month.
Huh. So, did it? So like, when did it So it started like a month ago. Was there like any telltale signs that it was starting to happen? Like someone rolled into town.
Not
They were
really.
from a different land.
A lot of strangers pass through this town all the time. It would be difficult, if not impossible, to pinpoint a single one of them. All the locals seem very adamant that they haven't done anything different than they have been doing for many generations and generations. So I don't know. And then the other Edgar pops in the conversation. This is driving us crazy. We no longer know that the product is safe for transportation and selling. We don't want to poison our own city. And they kind of talk amongst themselves regarding their product, how they will sell them when they return.
Hmm. Aurelia is thinking because this is a trade town, right?
Yeah.
They would have to. So, is this owned by the Imperials? Like, is this part of the Imperial sphere of influence?
No.
Okay. Even then, a trade town would have to keep pretty vigorous records. Hmm.
Okay.
Mike, like, you know, even if it's just simple things like this merchant entered this time, or this merchant entered, this merchant sold this much, we collected this much in taxes.
The Red Guards themselves don't know about such details, but they know a Khajiit they work might be able to give you such information about how town functions, who's in charge.
I'd ask, well, I'd like to know who's in charge so I can ask them more details about when this plague started. Only interested in trying to figure out how to fix this.
They see the Khajiit passing by and they call him. Hello, my friends. This one is happy. May you walk warm sun.
Hmm.
What would this one like?
I go, well, I heard from these guys that this whole problem with that this problem started like about a month ago. And I'm trying to figure out like town records and such because this is a trade town, right? So
Yes,
like
there are
even
numerous
basic
caravans passing through if not every day, and
like there must be like
the one who keeps tabs on all this activity is the matriarch. El Khajiit named Jantaba is the matriarch part. Close tab. I'm not sure if she thinks her note, her ledger. It would be worthy at least to have a conversation.
I go, yes, because it's very weird because the symptoms are very consistent with moon sugar poisoning, but this is also happening to Gajit. Could it be that somebody brought something in?
It could be anything. This one believes it is a punishment, for we have been very, very centered, giving away such good. But regardless, I am not jumping to conclusions.
Hmm. Well, thank you guys for your time. I better go find that Zantaba person. See what she knows.
This one could lead you right away.
Yeah, I'll follow him.
A beautiful house.
Ooh.
Bunch of cats. There are a bunch of Khajiit there. The Khajiit guides you in. There you see a very ornately dressed Khajiit elderly woman. Rings, necklaces, wearing the medieval female hat, like a helmet that only reveals the face. It has ornation jewelry. She welcomes you.
I go. So I've been looking into this plague that's been happening, and it seems very consistent with moon sugar poisoning. But a lot of the people who produce it around here have been doing the same thing for generations. And I'm wondering, was there any like traders who came in? Traders that seemed really shady, or traders who seemed like like they were out of place, that could have given moon sugar or sold it. They did roughly like a month ago.
She also gets angry and agitated when you mention moon sugar. Seems to be like it is very important to them, and if it is indeed the case that their moon sugar is causing this poisoning, the whole town might lose their living life.
She goes, I'm not saying you guys are producing bad sugar. I'm asking, was there anyone, like any of the towns like around you, or anyone who'd want to actively sabotage this this town?
She thinks about
Like,
it. She takes out a ledger from a drawer in her desk. Looks at it. Doesn't really allow you to look what's written on the pages. Keeps it to herself. There are a few crates of the shipments that arrived the city last month, and from then we have shipment from last still in our stockpiles. Perhaps.
would it be possible for me to look at that shipment and see if there's something wrong with it?
Yes.
Like, I'm asking.
This one could have a look at those crates. It would definitely help. She orders this one. His name is Tsiakar. Gonna write it in the hints. And she orders him to take you to the stockpile, take a look at the crate. Of course, my lead. Please follow this one. Right behind the market. You meet other Khajiit there. Ziakar recognizes them. the language? Sagra, I think. The language of the Khajiit. And he seems to be explaining the situation. They allow you in. They have ticks on their sides. They seem like they are guarding the stuff. They don't wear any armor or anything like that. Just hair.
So like, so can I open up one of these crates and look at the moon sugar? Just
It looks like a regular moon soup. Roll an investigation to search the crate.
that's a nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
Love how my first two rolls were so bad in the next 3 seconds. Nat 20s all the way.
That happens. Oh. Searching the crate, you can tell where its crate came from. You can identify the origin of every sack, every knapsack in there, every barrel, and you identify which crates or even bottles all that's been brought here during the time when the poisoning started. So you can now safely test and check out the products that are most likely to be causing this issue instead of the whole stockpile they have, which would take days.
Yeah. So I look at these very intently, just trying to see any impurities inside of it.
Medicine check or
That'd be a medicine. Let's do this. That's a 13. I got a 13, so
the easiest way to test this is to have a cat. You find a cat, which is hard to do. One of them, when you try to pet it and bring it with you to help you, it actually talks to you. It is a very capricious cat. Hands off, lady. This one is not a pet. He quickly jumps up on the roof. He hisses, turns away. Then you find a regular cat. And you take some of the suspected skooma and you present it to the cat. The cat hisses and with its paw hits your fingers and throws the skooma out of your hand and into the ground and walks. Normally, if you present skooma to a cat, they go crazy and start licking and eating it.
So like as I pick up the bottle, I kind of just look at the is the Khajiit guy still with me?
Yeah, looking at you
I look
weird.
I look at him and I go, normally when you give a cat skooma, they tend to go a little crazy and they tend to lick it out of your hands, but as I'm holding up the bottle, I go, there's something wrong with this. If a cat doesn't want to eat, if a cat doesn't want to drink it, there's something wrong with it.
This appears to be the case. This one cannot believe we had such poison in our stockpile all this time.
Yeah, this is probably. Do I know where this came from roughly?
Yes, it came from a big nearby city.
I go, this most likely came from probably a very big nearby city. I'm not sure which one, but
You know the name.
I
I just
wouldn't.
don't recollect.
I I wouldn't be surprised if a shady trader came in and from the big city, no one suspected him, and they just bought his goods, and he probably sold this for cheap. Well, in your mind, in some people's mind, it was cheap, but in his mind, it was a profit. Wouldn't be surprised if you earn root in this.
Someone would sacrifice a whole town just to make a profit. What have
Well,
we come?
I don't know if I can't really suss out if it was for profit or if it was, or it might have been for something else. Maybe they just didn't. Maybe they wanted to take over the town, and the best way to do that was to weaken your population to where you had no choice but to accept help from others. But either way, we better tell your boss about this and let her know that this is definitely the case, and they need to stop. They need to get rid of this product immediately. Otherwise, we might have some.
We should report this right away.
Yep. So we're gonna go back to Zintaba and tell her what I learned.
Take a deep seat in her chair. This one is not sure if I should be happy or angry, but it's a step for the better.
Yeah. At least no one else will drink this. Bad. It's bad enough that that you might have gotten. I don't know if who did this or what did this. If it was from the big city, it could have been freighter from somewhere. Wouldn't be surprised if there was a trader in Skyrim or something that maybe made this.
Uma made in Skyrim. This one is certain, but would taste like mead and sweat.
She chuckles. She goes, "Yeah, that's about the scope of it. But as for what impurities, I'm not entirely certain. All I know is that when a cat didn't want this, or when a cat didn't want it, that was a bad sign from the beginning."
This one.
I might actually go back to the victims to actually figure out if they're getting poisoning by something else, because moon sugar normally doesn't cause this, and the skooma is obviously contaminated with something, but with what, I don't know.
Go to the dealer's tent.
So I'm gonna take a look and see with my medical knowledge what kind of poison is in this skooma.
Roll a medicine check.
All right. That's a 15. Because I'm taking a closer look at the patient.
Taking a closer look, you can definitely tell that their symptoms come from the consumption of skooma and they're coming from those crates. Either moon sugar or skooma produced from said sugar, contaminated moon sugar. Doesn't seem to be contagious, or something viral. It's akin food poisoning.
Hmm. So they just got a real bad case of really bad skooma and moon sugar. Something that wasn't cut pure enough.
It was either not pure enough or it was tampered with.
Hmm. Hmm.
You're not a skooma specialist, so you.
Would skooma count as like a food?
I guess so, yeah.
Would purify, because like could I use purify food and water to kind of separate out what eminent is inside of the skooma?
Let's take hell. Nobody has ever used it before.
It's like,
food ready to pure center is purified and rendered free of poison. Doesn't say that it separates it, but I'll allow it. Yeah, you can use it.
yes, like she looks at the skooma and she goes, "Wonder if," and she's just kind of she casts like purify food and water to try to like isolate what the poison is and kind of take it out of the skooma to analyze it further.
You indeed succeed in separating the harmful agent located in both the scoop and the purify food and drink. And it seems to be something in liquid form that kind of smells foul when it's high enough dosages, and you acquired a small flask, a fistful liquid that has contaminated all the skooma and moon sugar they had in their storages. It's a
Better take this.
green foul-smelling substance.
Maybe Zintaba would know a guy who can identify this. Or I think I'll. You want me? I'll attempt a nature check to try to like suss out what this is.
Okay, yeah. Roll a nature check.
That's a 9.
Can't really tell. Could be poison from an animal, venom from an animal, or something. Plant. Can't tell.
Better go to Zintaba and ask her if she knows anyone who can identify this stuff. So I'm gonna walk over. Oh, you keep going.
Zintaba sends away the Khajiit has been following you around all this time. Follows him the
Like, you just go, yeah, this stuff doesn't smell good. It's like this could be what's inside of this and what's inside of the moon sugar and the skooma at the same time.
The alchemist lady called Dazanisa, right? Name. What is his name? Takes the file, shakes it, puts it against the source of light, takes the lid off, takes a small whiff, immediately cringes, tries to clear her nostrils by exhaling rapidly, fiercely.
I help her by giving just a nice pleasant smell of like juniper berries. Just here you go.
Is this one trying to murder us? What is this?
I go, no, I found that in a skooma shipment that came from the big city not about a month ago when the symptoms started. All that skooma moon sugar is contaminated with that. Not sure what that is. Do you know what that is?
She recognizes the poison, actually, yeah. This
Ask her,
is a very potent poison. This amount is enough to kill a whole army of men if consumed, if applied to weapons and or workforce or their food.
I go, so why are they so is it a very slow death, and is there a way to fix it?
Now that I know what it is that causes this, I can start.
Good. We gotta get rid of that contaminated skooma before, a bunch of kids, drink it. But why would everyone want to poison a town like this? It makes no sense.
It doesn't, indeed. They
More
both
importantly,
look at the ledger to see who the shipment, and they don't share their findings.
I go,
they are very shocked to see who this shipment came from. They look at each other in disbelief, dumbfounded, saying something in Tagra, which sounds, by their expression, you can tell that they are lying. Could this be right? Is this for real? Is that true?
who is it? Who's poisoning you guys? Or at least attempting to?
This problem has deeper roots than we expect. It's not just some punishment from the gods for being a little greedy, and looked at Ziakar, who had implied that. It seems that someone is actively trying to sabotage us, tries to poison our population.
Did you guys take off like maybe a gang leader or somebody? Like someone who got a raw deal here. Didn't like what happened and decided to take revenge on the town in a way?
We have had honest deals with both merchant and smuggler. We know better than to take such a risk.
Well, that may be the case for a few people, but there could be not like a dishonest, but maybe it was a deal gone bad, and the guy who got screwed on the deal maybe thought that maybe had connections to the bigger city. Do you know anybody, like any traders here who've gotten a raw deal recently?
If that was the case, it wouldn't be the town's fault. It would be the merchant.
Maybe it was. Maybe, do you know any merchants who would have connections to the big city like that?
Of course, most merchants. How else would they be able to sell their stuffs? They're good.
Yeah, but this has to go deep. If I'm trying to she's thinking, and she's like, maybe it might not be maybe it might not be something the town did, you know, directly. You guys are doing directly, but it may be something that you're doing. Maybe there's somebody out there that wants you to be dependent on them for something.
This will only be clear if we have a talk with somebody in the city. She turns to Ziakar and she tells him to meet Karod, who is a red guard. And take Aurelia with you. Karod, go investigate who has been poisoning our town. Maybe you should also speak with Gabu, another red guard.
Maybe I will. Probably sounds like he'd know a thing or two.
She advises Ziakar to be very careful. They are dangerous.
Oh, do I still have the vial of the poison?
Yeah, the file is still there.
Alright. Because I never know when I'm gonna need, You never know when you're gonna need poison. So I'll make sure to mark it down of... Like, I would have to assume it's some sort of poison that's... slow acting.
Yeah. Poison of disease.
Wait, a poison can cause disease? Oh yeah, ricin. So I'll just put that down under... ×1... Definitely... ricin. This stuff is definitely ricin.
You meet Karod, who has a curved sword. Believe that?
Hey, I got a curved sword too, but I'm not gonna show it yet. Because I'm just a peaceful little cleric. Until you pick me off.
Karod brings his horse around.
As my horse stopped tweaking.
Oh, Karod's. Yeah. And Ziakar falls on the large tiger you saw.
Awesome.
And he calls the tiger sister.
I just realized I haven't named my horse yet.
Bro.
Nah, I'm gonna name it Boadicea. Just a little bit of Arthur Morgan gets to live on.
Off we go.
God, I love solving brain teasers. Yeah. I like solving brain teasers. Stuff that isn't easy to figure out.
All pass up.
Oh Lord.
Oh, man.
I knew I should have left Skyrim.
5. Nobody is shocked by the presence of a tiger.
Well, I'd hope so. They probably walk around me all the time. It's a good thing I probably brought that poison with me because it would help to have an idea, have a sample of what I'm talking about.
You see huge markets even outside the city. Work, tent with double stands for merchandise. Work, sales, traders, even sell swords. Living.
I look around, I go, well, I don't even know where to start.
Ziakar comments that this is indeed a very busy city. They shouldn't allow themselves to be to lose. We shouldn't allow ourselves to lose our focus. This one proposes we stay on our.
I go, I figured, but I'm just not sure where we'd start in terms of the investigation.
Hey, I know where this Gabo character hangs around. This one should be able to find them easily enough. They are not known for the discretion. So if you see any trouble going on anywhere, probably involves Gabu.
So just keep an eye out for things that seem out of place.
Ziakar turns to Karod and says, he is one of your kind. He doesn't have a curved sword though, as far as I Karod just shakes it. Says, yeah, I've seen a cat or two in my life. Maybe even one too many around these parts. But as you said, my friend, we should stay focused on our endeavor.
I go, maybe we should start with the first. Maybe we should start with the person who runs the town. Maybe they know something.
Ziakar laughs. That is a trick question. This one believes it is impossible to determine who actually ran. There are many facts, many heads. many rival individuals that strive for the control of. You have the the matriarch, which is sort of the legal authority of the city. It is a um, legitimate body in the Khajiit society, recognized by the empire and other holds and other kingdoms. Then there is the smugglers, who are the underground, illegal side of. You could say that they run the town, they run the city. And there is also the monasteries, who are religious groups. Each one has their own traditions and disciplines, and they also have great influence in the city.
Hmm. I look at the poison. I go. I doubt something like this would be gotten through legal means. So it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to start with the underbelly and see if anyone there would know who would sell this or who would put it in the skooma.
This one advises discretion. It is common that people don't want strangers meddling with their business, let alone trying to pin something like this on them. This, let's find Gabu, and this one believes we can go on from.
Yeah, Gabo might be our best bet. At might be our best bet.
You are requested to leave your.
Yeah, we can't really have a bunch of them, you know,
No
running
drinking
around.
in the city. Bigger than a. Like that's him. So you enter the city. That's it. There are so many of all races and back. Even Nords in elsewhere. What brings such travelers away? I see in between the
Is
north.
somebody
Hmm?
someone's asking me that?
No, it's just Carol questioning, wondering, just expressing his thought.
I just look at him and I go, I come from the north.
Yes, it's quite peculiar to see people of your kind around.
I go, you know what? I go, you know what? Yeah, I see what you mean.
Ziakar says this one believes it would be better to climb a bit higher, take a bit. Also, figures like the one we are looking for tend to skulk around top to avoid the city watch. The city watch mainly patrols the street, doesn't really bother with the roof. Or get the individuals go on with their businesses. We should look around. Carrot
Definitely.
also looks around. Roll a perception check.
Alright, let's see here. Let's see if my luck holds out. It's a 19.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You don't find him. Carrot though rolled a natural 20.
Hmm.
You can look at him squinting, looking in the distance. I think this is our man. Points at a really big red guard guy.
So he's just like, is a really big red guard guy.
What's wrong with that?
No, nothing's wrong with it. I'm just saying he's a big red guard boy.
How to represent our big red guard boy? Like this. Round. Speaking. There are other sketchy individuals. Mainly they seem to run a stand of questionable merit. Definitely skooma bottles, definitely pouches, cup full of spoons. And there are customers that pay dearly.
Huh. So they pay pretty high price for that.
Yep. The good stuff is always illegal.
Hmm.
It's even more. It's even more dangerous this way. It's a blooming business actually. This one had considered taking part, but I prefer to stay at town, live for serene, than to have to look around my shoulder every day when I wake up. There's our guy.
I go. So how do we approach this?
Karud says we can approach as a potential customer.
Nope. She starts thinking and she goes, like she goes, yeah, that might actually work.
This one agrees. Would you have any other idea on the matter?
Think of anything else that might actually work, you know?
Let's remain on the roof. It it will probably make it more believable. Because it has no trouble navigating the up and downs of the rooftop. Thereafter, the red guard is no slouch either. Can you make an acrobatics check?
Oh, I gotta make an acrobatics. Let's do this.
Face first. On the third floor.
I'm actually, joke's on you, I'm actually a dex cleric.
Okay. Let me see you're not one.
18. You were hoping to see that one.
But I can feel it coming anytime now. You successfully traverse the rooftop. All the scaffoldings, bridges, and wooden walkways. Right at the Gabu's tent. She looks even bigger up close.
Mm.
Yeah. And you immediately notice that Gabu and Taro don't look like the other people around there are haggling.
That's 5. I don't know shit.
It is about the Red Guard lore with the crowns and the others. Can't remember. There are two Red Guard factions. There's the crowns, the others the ancestors, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, out of game, one is part of the ancestors, the other is part of the crown.
So there's some definite beef between the two.
Yeah. They are racist against each other. The Khajiit peddle the goods, the customers haggle and indulge part.
So they do so they barter all their goods and such.
Yeah, they do.
Mm.
And Gabu, seeing another Red Guard looking at him funny, addresses you and asks, how would you like to be served? They have the best alcoholic drink, the best textiles you can find in the city, and of course, the best recreational sub. And he presents Puma bottles and pouches full of shiny moon sugar.
I look and I go, like, I'm trying to think here. I would think that I would probably let the Pidgey do the talking, but I kind of look and I go, so I look at the skooma and I go, I probably want some skooma.
With the deep red guard act presents information regarding the origins of the skooma, which monastery it was used in, under which circumstances, and the absolute purity that described. And basically presents you with different variants of sugar, slightly different in color, smell, maybe texture. The effect would be the same. The desirable high and or a very high quality product out of it if you're looking to use it as an ingredient. It is suitable for both recreational usage and production and alchemy.
Hmm, that's the thing. Cause I don't know how I'm gonna approach the subject of what we're here for. I have no idea how I'm gonna do that. Because like I don't
Mm,
want to offend this guy.
hmm?
I go
You
I like first I pull out like the poison vial and I go, do you know anybody who would get access to this?
make a persuasion.
Let's see if she has that good charisma. Let's see if this works. It's a 15.
My eye might have caught such an item before. Would you be interested in acquiring more? Or would you be
I go
interested in details of its origin?
I look and I go, it's more interested on its origins, but also who would be able to sell this because I found this in a town's skooma supply. Like it was inside of the skooma itself. So I'm interested in both the history of the poison, but also who would have access doing this or who sells it.
Of course. Takes a look around for discretion purposes and for mm, serene the serenity of the bazaar. Let's have this conversation.
I nod.
You are a curious bunch. So what is it? Who is after the production of this poison?
Oh, is he asking like why are we after the production of it? I go, well, I'm more interested in, who would actually use it to poison a town's skooma supply because not too far down the road, I had found this inside of a town's skooma supply, and we're trying to figure out who would poison the town. But also, was it an oversight? I'm not saying that somebody poisoned. I'm saying, could it have been an oversight? An error?
I wouldn't know.
Like,
I am but a simple merchant.
I go, but do you know who would know that?
Maybe I would. And he makes the gesture of counting money with his hand.
I give him, I give him 5 gold. I know exactly what he wants.
Would be more in septims, I guess, are less viable than gold. So, for example, 1 gold coin in D&D would be worth a lot more than 1 septim in Elder Scrolls. Anyway, 5 gold is like more than 5 septim,
So it'd be like 25 septims.
something like that.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, let me just multiply 15 by 5 to get how much I actually have.
He takes it, gladly counts it, checks if it's counterfeit or not. Well, for such information, I would suggest you meet with one of my um co-work. co-work.
Hmm.
He direct you at the person hanging out there. Another city fee.
I thank him for his time, and I'm gonna go over to the coworker.
Of course, the town is not Kale, but while you are getting there, we are going to roll for initiative.
Uh-oh. So remember how you said there's a nat 1 in my future?
Yeah.
I'm definitely going last. I would be surprised if, like, everyone's like, dang, that cleric's slow. She's just like, I'm gazing off into La La Land and don't notice imminent danger.
Karud comments, I knew we should have trusted this guy. What do you expect from a crown?
I go, I see the problem.
Okay. This the moment the stands are no longer in your elevation rooftops in between lines of hanging clothes and stuff like that, you hear someone landing behind you and drawing a blade. Charge towards Karud. They attack. They miss. Karud, with a swift move, draws his scimitar and blocks the blade. Will you pop, please?
Η θάλασσά μας κρύβει ένα μοναδικό θησαυρό. Τα λιβάδια της
Lagging.
Ποσειδονίας, τον πνεύμονα της Μεσογείου που παράγει πολύτιμο οξυγόνο. Με το πρόγραμμα Vodafone Ποσειδονία του Ιδρύματος Vodafone, συνεργαζόμαστε με το Oceanus Lab, τα χαρτογραφούμε και συμβάλλουμε στην προστασία τους.
Attack Khajiit. Also missing.
Don't hurt the Khajiit. He has wares.
And it is Karud's turn, who masterfully slices at the assailant, doing good damage. His ammunition climbs up, not in melee yet. 9 XG. Check. This one. Both his unarmed and uses both his arms and claws. All his claws to attack. Heals. Also, it is your.
All right, so she's gonna pull out her scimitar, but going to use. I'm gonna you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna take a swing at the assassin that came up behind us. Let's see what happens. Like, you just see this cleric innocuously pull out just a scimitar from her side with a shield up. With a 16 to hit.
That hit. All damage.
This is where I usually roll bad damage. That's a 4.
You slice at the assassin. You cut a piece of his clothes. You reveal the cut up flesh underneath. Still a Karud. Still fails. Khajiit. It deals good damage as it came. Karod attack. Barely doesn't hit. He's don't use flank. They don't have advantage. Attacks you. What's your AC?
16.
It hit.
Η θάλασσά μας
And
κρύβει
you
ένα
take
θησαυρό. Τα λιβάδια
three-
της Ποσειδονίας, τον πνεύμονα της Μεσογείου που παράγει πολύτιμο οξυγόνο. Με το πρόγραμμα Vodafone Ποσειδονία του Ιδρύματος Vodafone, συνεργαζόμαστε με το Oceanus Lab, τα χαρτογραφούμε και συμβάλλουμε στην
Khajiit.
προστασία τους.
again. Arms. Gets a crit. And actually kills this guy. This one will also. Yeah. Hits. Deals good damage. Does it? It's your turn now.
Alright, so I am going to use Healing Word to, heal the Khajiit to make sure he doesn't get hurt. I'll do it at. See, I would have already used the spell slot, so I'm going to do it at 2nd level. This is a bonus action heal, so.
I know.
Plus spell attack bonus, which is going to be great for him because Khajiit heals up to 11 hit points. Alright. Like, as we're I kind of turn around and the guy who stabbed me, I'm just going to go, okay. You want to dance? Let's dance. And she's going to try to slash at him.
Okay. This one or this one?
The one that just stabbed me. That's a 7. I would assume that's just.
Yeah, he dodges it like it was nothing. The attack is ineffective. The nimble Khajiit dodges, slaps your blade to the side. Ready?
She looks and she goes, I knew I should have taken more notes in combat classes.
This one attack at Harold and crits. Harold is seriously wounded. Then it is Harold's. Hits and kills him. There are more ways to skin a cat. There's the other one. Taking battle style. You can see Harold is very well versed in the manners of, and he wields his scimitar like. Though being ganged by 3 Khajiit at a rooftop isn't ideal situation. He's bleeding, he's panting, he's out of breath.
It is not also. It is not my.
And he will hit. Take 5 points of slashing. G. Back this one. Is back. So the Khajiit will attack this one. Hit. Second attack doesn't hit. This one will also attack her. Doesn't hit. Okay. And it is your turn.
Alright. I'll heal Karud with the thing. I'll heal with Healing Word so he doesn't. It's another 11.
A thing that does the thing.
I use my word of healing. And then I'm gonna look at the guy who dodged my scimitar and I'm gonna slash at him again. With a 9.
Bro.
Where'd you learn to fight? I never learned how to fight.
Karod swings at the assailant. Hit. Wound. Attack. Ooh, doesn't hit. The Khajiit attacks hit both times and finishes him off. Throws him off the roof. Ritz Karod might die. Karod is down. A blade pierces his stomach. He gurgles blood and falls down. The assailant, the quick snap of his wrist, splatters Karod's blood away, away from his blade and turns to you for his. And it is your turn.
Ah, the best part about the life domain. I use Channel Divinity Preserve Life.
Yeah.
However, this is my action, so I use it to restore Karad. You know, I heal him up by 15 hit points.
He rises up like a sandstorm in Alikir Desert and starts. Bonus action.
So yeah, that's pretty much my turn.
Okay. And it is Karod's turn. Let's see. Will he take revenge? He hits and wound. Khajiit. One of the attack hit. Then will attack Karod again. This one should stay down. And hit. Deals damage. And it's your
I'm going to look at this guy and go, maybe you should take a hint and go away. And I'm gonna slash at him with my sword. Rolling a 16 now.
that hit.
Okay, let's see here. 7.
That. How do you kill him?
I just do like a very quick slash to his to his chest, and I riposte by like stabbing him through.
Blooded fur under the guard. The cat-like figure falls limp.
I go, huh. So that's why you have to be careful.
There has been someone who has been watching all. They haven't. They. These ones should consider this. Time will not be so lucky. Rappels down. Mixes in with the crowd. Gets lost.
Well, that is a sobering reminder.
This one believes Gabu is not to be trusted. At least now we have something like a lead.
Yeah, whoever's doing this doesn't want us to obviously get close to this operation.
And the stands have been removed from there. They are no longer there. The little bazaar is all set up.
Huh. So all the stands are gone?
Yeah.
Well, that's odd. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
This ain't Kansas. This ain't Windhelm no more. This ain't Riften.
Well, this certainly isn't Windhelm. I don't see your old bird.
This is not Riften. The Nordak.
Yeah.
This one would like to get some rest before we continue our research. I have some wounds that require tending.
Yeah, me too. Ouch.
And this is our session for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. See you on the next one.